Hey folks, welcome back here to the Vegasdon channel. We're here with our week 4 NFL picks for the NFL football season. Last week we went 7-9 again, same records we did in week 2. That's straight up as well, so I can't imagine how badly it would be if we went up against the spread. But alas, we press on and move forward. It's a 26-22 record for the season so far, a 54% winning percentage. But let's try and improve our record and make it a little bit better than what it has been. Tonight's game, and again, this is for entertainment purposes only, no gambling involved whatsoever. It's just a little fun thing that we like to do here on the Vegasdon channel with our community. We've got the Dallas Cowboys flying into New Jersey to take on the Biggies of New York. Giants are 5-point underdogs in this one. Over-under in this one of 44.5. I see the Cowboys winning. I don't see them winning by that much. This being an NFC Divisional East battle, I think that they will be under on the points, and I think that they will be under on the over-under as well. So I think Cowboys will prevail, but I don't like the line at 5 points on the road like that in the division. Even though the Cowboys went in there last year and won 40-0 in New Jersey in that first game of the season, I don't think that that's going to happen again. So Cowboys will prevail in this one. Then we got Sunday's slate of games. Broncos of Denver will be galloping their way into New Jersey to take on the fast airplanes of New York. The Jets are favored by 7.5 in this one. Over under 39.5. I think that the Jets will prevail, but I don't know that they'll do so by 7.5 points. That's a really fat line, especially considering what the Broncos did last week against the Buccaneers in Tampa Bay. So I think the Jets will prevail. Over under, I think it'll probably stay under. I think we're expecting kind of a defensive battle on this one. So Jets at home. Vikings at the Packers. The Minnesota Vikings will scull their way into Green Bay. This is a tricky pick here. Packers are actually favored by 3. Over under 43.5. Vikings are 3-0 on the season so far, the young season. I'm going to take the Vikings. I'm going to call the upset. I think the Vikings will prevail on the road in Green Bay. They've been looking good, despite the fact that they don't really have a starting quarterback per se, at least not a brand name one. And over-under in this one, 43.5. I think they'll probably stay under on the over-under on this one. I think the Vikings will win straight up. And then we have another NFC South battle here, divisional battle. Saints travel into Falcon territory there in Atlanta to take on the Falcons. Falcons are 2.5-point favorites in this one. Despite the fact that the Saints have been scoring a lot of points, they didn't look so good last week against the Eagles. And I will take the Falcons at home, and I think that they will cover. Probably one of those game-winning field goals at the last second by the Falcons that they're notorious for. Over under 42.5 in this one. I would probably take the under as well. I think the Falcons will prevail and that they will stay under the 42.5. And then we have the Eagles at the Buccaneers. This is another tough pick. Eagles are 2-point favorites in this one. I'm going to call another upset. I really think that the Buccaneers are going to right the ship, so to speak, after last week. That just demolishing that they got at the hands of the Broncos last week in Tampa. 43.5 is the over-under on this one. So I would take the Buccaneers, and I think that they'll probably stay under on the over-under on this one. And then we got the Bengals of Cincinnati traveling into Charlotte to take on the Panthers of Carolina, actually, all of the Carolinas. Bengals are 4.5-point favorites. I do think they'll cover on that. Over under 46.5, probably be under on the 46. And I think I'm doing a lot of unders for some reason this week, but I think it'll be under on the 46.5. I think that the Bengals will cover, despite the Panthers spanking essentially the Raiders last week in Vegas here last week. I think that that was probably an aberration as well, an anomaly. So I think the Bengals will prevail and they will certainly cover. They'll probably stay under on the over-under on that one. And then we've got the Jaguars, the Kittens of Jacksonville, flying into Houston in another divisional battle, take on the Texans. Texans are 6-point favorites in this one. I would definitely take the Texans, and I think that they will prevail. But despite this being a divisional battle, I think that the Texans have something to prove after their loss last week, and I think that they're going to come out blazing, and they'll probably demolish the Jaguars there at home. Over under 45.5. I'm inclined to stay under again. I don't think that there's going to be a ton of scoring in this one. So that's just my sense on this. And then we've got the Steelers of Pittsburgh traveling into Indianapolis to take on the Colts. This is another road favorite. Steelers are favored by 1.5. I think they're going to pull this off. Over under 40.5. Not expecting a lot of scoring in this one again. I'm going to take the Steelers, and I think that I think they will cover, and I do think that they will stay under again on the over/under on this one. I don't think there's going to be a ton of scoring. These defenses are pretty tough. So even though the Colts are 1-2, the Steelers defense is really just rock solid right now, and they're playing like it. And with the 3-0 record, you can see why. Rams are on the road in Chicago, taking on the Bears of Chicago. The Cubbies are favored by 3 in this one. I think that the Bears will win. I don't know that it'll be by 3, or if they do, it'll be a push. They'll win by 3, and it'll be a push. Over under 41.5. I don't think that I think I'm going to go for the under once more. I think that they're probably not going to be able to score a whole lot of points in this one. The Bears will prevail. I don't know about that line at 3 though, but I do feel confident that the Bears will win. And then the late games on Sunday, we have the Commanders of Washington traveling into Phoenix to take on the Arizona Cardinals. The Cardinals are 3.5-point favorites in this one. Over under 50.5. Now that's a lot of points. So that's like a final score of 27-24 or something like that. So I think they're probably going to go under on the over under on that one. I know I've been calling that a lot this week, but I think they're probably going to go under. But I do think the Cardinals will prevail, and it'll probably be another one of those toughies though. With the line 3.5, I think it's going to be probably a 3-point win. I could see them another game-winning field goal right at the last second to defeat the Commanders of Washington. So I would stay with the Cardinals, but I don't know that I would pick that spread. And then we have the Patriots of New England flying all the way across the country to take on the 49ers in an interconference battle there. Between the Patriots and the Niners. Niners are 10-point favorites at home with an over-under 40.5. I'm inclined to go over in this one. I think the 49ers are probably going to be looking to prove something, especially back at home. I think they're going to go over on the over-under. 10 is a really fat line in the NFL, but I think that they will cover it. I think that the Niners will win at home and they will cover. So that's my pick for the Niners. And the Patriots. Browns at the Raiders. This is another toughie. Raiders, for some reason, are 1-2, and they're favored by 2.5. That's typical of a home team line, and they over under 36.5. So they're expecting a final score in this one of, let's see, that's what, 19, 20 to 17-ish, somewhere in that range. So I'm thinking the Raiders will win. I probably going to end up regretting that pick. Especially after the way they played last week against Carolina. That was awful. Just got completely eviscerated by the Panthers in Vegas. But I think the Raiders will correct it, and they'll turn it back around, get up to 500 again at 2-2. 2.5, they will probably cover, I think, that one. But the over-under on this one, I'm going to go with the under. Even though it's very low already, I don't think there's going to be a lot of scoring in this one. Both teams 1-2, I don't think there'll be a lot of scoring. And then we have the Chiefs at the Chargers. Chiefs are 7-point favorites with an over-under of 39.5. They're expecting again, not a whole lot of scoring in this. Chiefs, I believe, will prevail. I don't know. I haven't heard about Justin Herbert. I know that he's been injured this week, but whether or not he'll play, I haven't heard. I haven't seen any news about that. So Chiefs, I think will definitely win. I don't know that they'll cover. That's kind of a scary line. I'd probably bet that one straight up. But again, there's no gambling on this channel whatsoever. We don't do that here. Over under 39.5. I'd probably go over on this just because it's the Chiefs, and we'll see if Travis Kelce can get the critics off of his back. Bills at the Ravens, another very good game for Sunday Night Football. The Ravens are favored by 2.5 in this one, over under 46.5. I definitely think the Ravens will win, especially after what they did last week in Dallas. Over under 46.5. I think they'll probably go over on this one. I think both teams will be scoring like crazy in this one. So Ravens at home will cover, and they'll go over. And then we have the Monday night games, two of them again. Titans travel into Miami to take on the Dolphins. Dolphins are 1-point favorites here. I think that the Dolphins will prevail despite the 2-game losing streak. 1-point favorites the Dolphins are. I would definitely take that spread. And then the over-under 36.5. That's very tricky. I think that the Dolphins will win, and I think it's probably going to go under that, especially with Tua out. I don't think that they're going to be able to do a whole lot of scoring. So Dolphins at home, they'll cover, and they'll go under on that one. And then the nightcap, Seahawks at Lions. I'm going to upset both 7-Eleven Man and Michael here. You guys are both Seahawks fans, but Lions are favored by 3.5 in this one. I think they will cover. Over under 45.5. I think it'll go under on that over under. Seahawks at Lions. And so we'll hopefully try and right this ship and bring it back to respectability, just like the first week when we went 12-4. Thank you for joining, everyone. We'll see how you do, and let me know your thoughts and your comments and how you did after Sunday and Monday's games. We'll see you next week, folks, for week 5.